This morning we've been learning about smoke and how to read smoke and how important that can be in terms of what's happening inside and how that might affect our tactics. We've been to the quarry today to look at a container which we've got some backdrafts out of, also to have a look at reading smoke to read what's going on and how that might change the tactics.
It was going almost a different colour as it was bulging, and then it ignited straight away.
As it went into its flammable range. And that's like, you know, like using your Mitch, looking at your colour, the movement, temperature, we can look through our tick, all that sort of stuff, it all comes into play.
So we were just putting into practice some of the theory we learned this morning in the classroom to do with fire behaviour. So we were watching the flow of the smoke coming out of the building, as well as the inflow of oxygen and air feeding it, and you can see that visibly at the top of the window and at the bottom. So one of the things we did was to block off the doors. The temperature came down, but there was a build-up of pressure inside of the smoke, which is a fuel, and then as soon as we opened the doors, that inrush of air ignited all that fuel basically, and we had a big, what's called a backdraft, a big explosion.
So that side there's just this big sucking that's just come out there. So you've got a small wedge here, but not a massive wedge, not a lot coming out of this side.
We saw how sort of fire phenomenon behave, backdraft, and how sort of a ventilated and a non-ventilated fire differ, and all the smoke, you know, watching smoke and how to read what a fire is about to do. It's been very, very fun.
So I'm using a tick, so this is a thermal imaging camera, so I can actually see what's going on over there just in terms of heat. So the hottest bits are white, and we were getting up to 1,000 degrees at the back of that room.
So see the temperature now, it's still going down, but it's not had any massive zero effect really. What about the survivability in that compartment now? None, before none, now's none. So this point here we need that volumes of water. There, we've got a bit of steam coming around there. You can sort of see it, onto the steam coming out of the container. Those fires coming out. Very good. Lovely, knock off that section. Right, so we set up.
Here is just sort of more confirmation on branch techniques and actually getting involved in the fire. So when we are in the room with the fire and we see the fire behaviour that we saw up at the quarry, we kind of know what to expect and how much water to put on and in what sort of quantities and methods. So either a fine spray or a jet.
The crews have been into our building, which we set on fire with a load of pallets and boards to try and get some realistic fire conditions for them to go into. The task of this one is to attack their way into the container so they can make conditions safe inside to rescue any casualties or ultimately extinguish the fire. We also played around with ventilation and the effects of ventilation, both positive and negative, on fire development and how our tactics might change depending on that.